Do you think your company is going to live forever? Let's find out. Hey everybody, my name's Will, and welcome back to the channel. Here at Energize Us, we're helping empower generations towards the skilled trades. And how we're going to do that? We're going to do that by equipping the next generation with the tools that they need to become successful, as well as helping the current generation scale up their business so that they can be in a position to hire in the new ones coming in. But before we can do that, before we can grow a business, we have to understand the ins and the outs of starting your own company. And for myself, it all starts with the life expectancy of a contractor. For many of you who are hearing about, we're writing an ebook, the journey it took for me to become a blue-collar professional. How I opened up my own shop, as well as the steps I needed to learn the hard way to become a successful contractor. For many people, that ebook gave them the resources that they need to foresee what's going to happen in your first, second, or third year of business. Tonight, we're going to go over in detail the blueprint for those starting off their journey as an electrical, plumbing, HVAC, any type of contractor within the skilled trades. When I started the journey into contracting, I understood there was going to be pros and there was going to be cons. Social media especially pushes, oh, look at the best life you can have as a contractor. But deep down in my head, I started thinking, it looks kind of risky for me. So what are some things I can do to eliminate the risk? What are some things that I can look forward to? And right before I opened up shop, I sat myself down and weighed the pros and cons. And basically, this is everything that I came up with. And it all started with putting everything into a timetable. The life expectancy of a contractor. And for many who want to go into contracting, they just get all the courage, they jump ship, and now they're lost. They have business for 1 or 2 years, then they close down shop. They try to scale too fast, then they close down shop. Or they've been in the trade for 20, 30 years, their back is killing them, their knees, we all know those guys, right? You go to Home Depot, you can just find all of them. What happens? They didn't take into account how long their life expectancy was going to be. So today we're going to go over as a foundation what that looks like for you, what that looks like for me, what that looks like for the future coming into the skilled trades. So we started off with the life expectancy of just a person joining the skilled trades. We understand for most people, you're going to start a full-time job around 18. Once again, there's those go-getters. I've been working with my dad since 14. We get it. We're talking about the majority of the people. So at 18 years old, you're pretty much starting off your career. You're starting off at a company. You're starting off working at your families. And then we know around 65 to 70 people start retiring. So within 18 to 65, we have 47 years to make magic happen. Learning what we know, applying what we know, taking risk, getting married, life happens within those 47 years before you look at retirement. How we're going to break that down even more into the skilled trades. We understand that in the most trades, most states that require licensing, it has the requirements of finishing a 4-year apprenticeship program. In those 4 years, what are we going to do? We're going to study, we're going to learn the ins and outs of the trade. Basically, as an apprentice, you're going to start seeing what's involved within the industry. And I have another video coming out where we talk about the mindset of an apprentice. So in those 4 years, you're going to learn the ins and the outs of your trade, of your industry, and that's going to stick with you for the rest of your career. But coming back, 4 years, 8,000 hours to become a journeyman. So at 18, let's say 22, you get your hours, everything signed off. At the earliest apply, take your license, 23, you can become a journeyman. That's an aggressive approach, especially compared to people nowadays where they don't know what they want to do. They go to college, they waste some time, they want a year off, they want a floater year. If you are aggressive and move with intent, you can get your license journeyman at least at 23 in most states. Now we're jumping into if you want to become a master electrician. You need to hold your journeyman card for 2 years, get some more schooling done before you can get for a master. Same applies, 23 to 25. Let's say you apply, you study, boom, by 26 earliest, you can get your master license in those states. Now, once again, granted, there's some states out there that require only 2-3 years. And hey, you can become a contractor, you just can't make this much money, the CE, the LLE. Understood. We're talking about the states that require the licensing requirements. So we're talking about the hardest ones, the ones that are going to make it difficult. So we're talking about with most time and putting everything in relationship to this time frame. So at 26, you're looking at having your master's. You officially have the keys to the car. You officially have your ticket. You have the opportunity to go on your own or stay with a company, work a few years, and then keep learning the industry before you jump on your own. So now at 26, you basically have roughly 47 years. I'm sorry, you remove the 7. You have 40 years before you see any type of retirement. But now you have all the cards in your hand. You have a full stack. You're ready. You got that reverse and that Uno. You're ready to throw it down. What are you going to do with those 40 years? Now, you have the dilemma the majority of the people face. Are you going to stay an employee or are you going to open up your own shop? This is where things start getting fun. Last night when we were discussing how the two compare with each other, we have a whole list and we're going to break that down for you right now. So if you're going to be an employee, you know before you retire, you're going to work 20 to 30 years. And guess what? If you start at 18, 20 years, 30 years, you're looking around 48. Remember, retirement over here is 65. So what are you going to do? For most people, they have a pension. Guess what? They're 38, 48. They still need a second job because they can't live off of one pension. And they may not have some investments. They may have, depending on, the majority of the people are in the middle going with the wind. So they need a second job because their first pension doesn't hold. At least they have a pension. At least it's something. But to get the big bucks where they can actually sit back, Social Security, all the insurance taken care of, you're looking at 65. So they still have another 10, 15, 20 years that they have to go. So they get a second job before they can officially retire. But what's the perks of that? It's comfortable. You know you don't have to worry. You got a 40-hour work week. You got your holidays. You have time with your family. Stress. You're relaxed. Guess what? Life's good. You don't have to worry about. You have an awesome work-life balance. That's the life of an employee. And guess what? That's the sane option. That's the sane choice. Let's say you're a part of the few who want to throw that away and jump into contracting. That's for the crazy. Why so? Why is that? How so? We're going to dive into it. So we know if you're a contractor, once again, you can jump in at any time. Remember, there's individuals who want to jump in right at 25, 26. There's individuals who want to get 10 years, get some dirt under their hands, under their nails to understand what's going on in the industry before they jump in. So for the most part, 10, 20, 30 years, roughly the same time frame, right? Before you can look at some sort of retirement or the end of the road. But what do we see for most people jumping into contracting? When I got to travel the world, when I got to travel the US, I got to understand and see the most influential tradespeople. And you know what they all said? That first year of business was bliss. They had nothing to worry about. They had a stacked pile of cash. They could vacation all the time. They came home. Their wife didn't scream at them. They weren't bothered by their kids. Everybody sang songs about them, how happy they were, how much they contributed to the community. They talked about how amazing contracting was. We know that's not true. We know that first year is stressful. We know we had to come home because we didn't have jobs. We didn't have work. So the bills are starting to pile up. That late notice is coming in. You got to pay all these late fees. The family needs some. What happened with groceries? When did eggs become an issue? Remember that? When did eggs become an issue? People are stressing in their first year of business because no work's coming in. Guess what? Now they have to spend time at home, sacrificing family time for their business. And guess what? That never works good with the wives. That never works good with the spouses. It creates friction. It creates stress. We have to understand and recognize in those first few years, we're going to be stressed. Not like a job where you get your comb home, shut it off at 5 o'clock and you don't have nothing to worry about. Yes, there's bills. Yes, there's projects. Yes, there's things, kids, insurance, all that stuff comes into play. But for the most part, at least you're not worried about bringing food home. Now, no work-life balance. Your whole life's scrambled because you're trying to find work. You're trying to make yourself known. And then, even if you stay 10, 20, 30 years, is there a guarantee? Are you guaranteed retirement? Are you guaranteed a pension? Now, can you build it up? Yes. But in those first few years, are you thinking about retirement? Or are you thinking about go, go, go? Nobody quits their job, their union job, their comfortable job, their safe job to go into business for a year or two to just say, I want to retire. No, that makes no sense. You don't quit a comfortable position to go to an uncomfortable one to say, this is how I want to risk my life. This is how I want to spend the rest of my lives. No, you don't do that. So there is no guarantees. But for the few who stick through it, they know that there's unlimited possibilities in the future. Let me say that again. There is unlimited possibilities in the future if you stay in contracting. So all of you people who are willing to put up with the stress, willing to put up with the no guarantees of retirement, no work-life balance, the fighting, the arguments within your household, if you're willing to put up with that, you have a shot at unlimited possibilities for the future. That's why to become a contractor, to stay a contractor, to thrive as a contractor, you gotta be freaking crazy. You gotta be nuts. There is no sane person who's gonna risk all of this for the possibilities of something hitting. That's the life expectancy of a contractor. And you gotta take that into consideration. You have to see, hey, does the sacrifices, does the stress outweigh what I could have had and the future possibilities? Do you have that conversation with your family, with your spouse, with your kids, with other people who support you? Are you willing to put that risk? And if you are, welcome, because you're the individual we want to be working with. And here at Energize Us, we want to give you the tools that you have to become a successful contractor. And that all starts with understanding your life expectancy. Thank you, everybody. If you found this interesting, check out our other videos. Let us know what you guys think and how we can be of assistance to you.